What's up, guys? Derek here from the Scar Effect with my special guest once again.
Hi, I'm Mike. You may
Yeah.
know me from Galgun.
That's all they know you from.
That's all they would know me from.
Alright. On episode 10, I think it's interesting how you come and visit and they tell you all about the girls and you instantly get to see...
Some awesome homoerotic nerd showering action.
There you go. Let's go. After a while, somebody knocked at the door again. Seems that the infirmary is the most popular place to go. Suddenly, I decided to roleplay a nurse.
Ooh, I love it.
Just a male version.
That's not right.
And said, "Come in." There's Ilyana. She'll be the playful one. The door opened and Ilyana entered the room. Wow, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking?
Anything wrong with me knocking?
She frowned. Where does it hurt?
Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse?
Right in front of you. I imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her.
I'd better go. I'd be better to die than be treated by you.
Yeah, she plays with us. She smiled mischievously. You didn't even let me try. Ilyana thought for a moment.
Though?
Yep.
You could just give me some pills.
What's bothering you? It took her some time to reply.
A heavy stomach.
Sure it's not an empty head?
Oh,
I muttered under my breath.
burn. What do you say?
Nothing, give me a second. I found the pills in the first drawer I opened.
Thank you, doctor.
She smiled cheerfully. Watching Ilyana, I could not imagine how such an optimistic and active child could have any health problems.
Overdose of stolen candies, got food poisoning from the canteen. The first one's a bit more her style.
Yeah, we'll mess with her some more. Oh. She gave me a baleful look.
No, I left everything for you.
Ilyana ran out of the infirmary and slammed the door. That's just typical.
Girls.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Good job, Michael. Again, I went back to studying Soviet fashion trends. Time passed, but the nurse was still absent. I wasn't searching for Shurik, wasn't looking for any clues concerning my situation. I was just sitting and flipping through a magazine. Just for a moment, I felt quite satisfied with the situation. So far, everything that has happened here could be seen as a trip to the summer camp, and if nothing changes anytime soon, then I can start worrying. Again, somebody knocked at the door. Did I miss the outbreak of an epidemic? Slavio standing at the doorway.
Oh, hi. Isn't the nurse here?
Hi, no, she's not here. I'm taking over for today.
Great. I'd like...
She hesitated. What?
By the way, Simon. It's her accent.
Alright. Slavia said, and looked intently at me. What?
It seems like I lost my keys. Have you seen them anywhere?
Oh, I forgot. I took her key.
Oh, boy.
Sure I have. Yes, here, I found them near the canteen yesterday. I wanted to return them to you, but I forgot about it. I was really bad at lying. My cheeks were red, my eyes were wandering around, my hands were constantly shaking. Here. I was already preparing myself for an appropriate scolding, but Slavia only took the keys and said,
Thanks.
"So what have you come for?" I really needed to change the subject. Does anything hurt?
No, it's nothing.
Strange. I wouldn't even think that such an open person as Slavio would keep something quiet. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled widely.
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Oh, girls.
Oh.
Hearing that made anything possible, even division by 0. So how can I help you?
You? I guess you can.
She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped.
However, could you step out for a minute?
Why not? Okay. I stepped out of the infirmary and leaned against the wall. Oh, I'm cool. I wonder what might she be doing? Something that I can't even see?
Look through the window.
After a minute, the door opened and Slavia came out. She was carrying a small bundle. Smiling? I don't know.
She won't tell you, but ask.
Okay. What is it?
Nothing.
She blushed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Slavia ran away. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. She made a basket. I looked at the time. It was getting late. I'd read the magazine backwards and forwards, but the nurse still wasn't here. Suddenly, the door burst open, and Alyssa rushed inside. I forgot to mention, the voice you gave for her seemed a little off, because she's actually like the rock-out wild type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She looked at me piercingly.
I don't know. I don't know many rock-out girls. What are you doing here, I guess?
Sitting, I admitted honestly.
Okay then. It's even better about the nurse.
Oh, she murmured. Oh gosh. Are you sick? I asked acidly. Alyssa didn't answer and came closer to me.
Move over.
Why?
So I can open the drawer. Isn't it obvious?
What for? She got angry.
None of your business.
Well, I'm kinda in charge here. She gave it a moment's thought.
Then give me some activated carbon?
Yep. Stomachache?
Yeah.
She grinned sharply. I got the feeling there was something wrong here.
No.
Really? A stomachache?
Really?
Doesn't seem so.
What? Do I have to toss my lunch all over the place for you to believe me?
I don't know what terrible things can be done with activated carbon, but I'm sure you'll think of something. She hesitated.
And what if you're right?
There. I knew it. Then I'm certainly not giving you anything. Alyssa tried to get to the drawers, but I blocked the pillbox with my chest like Alexander Matrosov. He was a Soviet infantry soldier during the Great Patriotic War. Died. Michael?
Posthumously awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union for blocking German machine gun with his chest.
Right.
The more you know.
Yeah.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. For all her impudence, she was still just a girl, and she had no chance of pushing me aside.
Whatever. I'll find somewhere else.
She turned away and headed to the exit. At the door, Alyssa stopped and looked back.
By the way, the camp leader and the nurse are carrying a pioneer with a broken leg. I really don't care, but they seem to be struggling.
Yeah, sure.
Come see for yourself.
Alyssa seemed to be lying, but on the other hand, as long as I can see her... I came to the door and looked outside. No one was there. Where exactly? Oh.
They haven't reached here yet, then.
She made a helpless gesture.
Have fun.
I returned to the table and only then realized that one of the drawers was open. Ah, she got it anyway. How did she make it so quick? I turned my back for just a second. Though, what evil can come from activated carbon? It sounds like a lot of evil could come from that. It was 15 minutes till dinner, and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving the place like this won't do. She asked me to look after it after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. Though, who would want to steal anything from here? Except for Alyssa stealing activated carbon. I opened the magazine again and began flipping through it for the nth time. Yeah. I guess he lost track. Okay. The fashions of the 80s weren't that fun anymore. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, so dinner has already started. Of course, I had to be on the watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on the matter. I stood up and steadily headed to the exit. A rustling sound came from behind the door. Could it be someone else who got poisoned, broke their arm, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. Seems it was just my imagination. I returned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. To be precise, an apple had appeared on the table. Whoa. Oh crap. But where from? Fruits can't just materialize from thin air by themselves, can they? Though, in this camp, anything is possible. Chances are someone just brought it here. Maybe Elena wanted to thank me, given that she's all shy and... But wait, how could she just slip past me like that? Elena wouldn't climb through the window after all, so there must be someone else, or something else. I was suddenly overwhelmed by fear. What if the apple is poisoned? Though, why would someone complicate things when I'm here totally helpless and can be killed way more easily? Or it might be the apple which Eve tasted in the Garden of Eden. In that case, I certainly shouldn't eat it. The same second, my stomach reminded me it was there by rumbling traitorously. However, it would take time to close the infirmary, to reach the canteen, to get food. My stomach is about to eat itself. There is nothing wrong, I guess. Once again, I tried to remember if this apple was here before. In the end, it must have appeared from somewhere. Maybe it got here through the window? The shutter was slightly open, so someone must have reached in and put it here. Nothing serious, however. It's a mysterious apple.
I mean, I wouldn't, but with this character...
He seems... but he doesn't...
Well, alright. Disclaimer, don't eat mysterious fruits in real life, kids. We're gonna see the adverse side effects of that.
Woohoo! Finally, hunger prevailed, and I started chewing on the ripe green apple with gusto. Its taste seemed normal, though I don't think that even the strongest poison can be tasted. But it's too late to think about that. It was time to go for dinner. Along the way, I ran to Electronic. How's it going? Did you find Shurik?
No, still no sign of him.
Don't worry. We'll find him. I tried to cheer him up.
Too much time has passed. I'll just keep on searching.
What about dinner?
No, finding Shurik is more important.
He muttered thoughtfully. I left him at the crossroads and wished him good luck. Pioneers crowded in the doorway. I quickened my pace, trying not to be the last in line, at least for today. And I was lucky. In the far corner there was an absolutely empty table. I took my dinner quickly and sat at the table.
Sat on the table.
I sat on the table. Tonight's dinner consisted of fruit soup, and a pair of buns.
Oh boy.
That's great. This set surprised me at first, but the taste was actually nice. I concentrated on eating. Lena, let's go here. Look, 3 free chairs. Oh no, Miku. Lena and Miku stood in front of me.
Are these taken?
Wondered Lena. No, take a seat. Of course, I wish she were alone.
Thank you.
As soon as Lena said that, Xenia jumped out from behind her back. Okay, so Xenia is the librarian. She kind of gets pissed off easily.
Okay.
But I guess she's not... I don't know. She doesn't really have a personality. She's like the librarian that's never there.
Okay. I'll sit here. There are no places left.
She said, putting her tray on the table and sitting down, not even waiting for my answer. Sure, make yourself at home, I muttered sorrowfully.
What?
Nothing. To tell the truth, I wanted to reduce the whole company to just Lena, though neither Miku nor Xenia were causing much trouble. Except one was too talkative and the other was too arrogant. There's your two. But nevertheless, they were absolutely harmless, especially comparing to some of the others I could name.
Oh, seems like I forgot my key. Don't worry, take mine.
I was surprised by Miku's short reply. Do you live together?
Of course, don't you know, together. Our cabin is rearmost. Rearmost? I mean the furthest from here. I mean the last one.
I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody told me that... I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody told me that Lena lived with Slavia. Or with Xenia, at worst. Even electronic. But silent and shy Lena, excessively talkative Miku as a pair. That's a real surprise.
Did you find Shurik?
It's strange that Xenia is disturbed by someone's problems. No.
Surely he's at the village buying cigarettes.
Burying
cigarettes. Yeah. Or vodka.
She snorted. Village? At that moment, the conversation got much more interesting.
Got a problem with villages?
Xenia looked amazed. You mean there's a village nearby?
I think so.
She said uncertainly. Uncertain. Yeah, okay.
You said it right.
Alright, I looked at Lena and Miku, but they were busy with their meals and did not pay much attention to our conversation. You mean you don't know exactly?
Why should I care?
Xenia stared at her dish. But there must be something nearby.
Listen.
Listening.
I don't know. Will you let me eat?
Seems like I won't get anything from her. Though there's a chance that she really doesn't know. The remaining time was spent listening to Miku talking about some nonsense. I was just going slowly mad in silence. Obviously, the first thing I did after getting out was inhale a great breath of fresh air. The sun was setting. I decided to take a walk. It's highly unlikely that I will find anything more exciting to do for the rest of the evening. That way, something interesting could arise quite unexpectedly. I was approaching the square when I heard a loud bang. It seemed like something had exploded. I was paralyzed. I am in a hostile environment, not knowing the rules and laws of this place. It would be better for me to run. But at the same time, I was curious. Probably I could have just kept standing there, but somebody grabbed my hand. It was Olga.
Why are you standing here? Let's go and see what happens.
Can't you ever manage without me? I begged her pitifully.
It shouldn't be anything serious. I hope.
When we came to the square, there was already a crowd of pioneers. Olga vigorously pushed through the crowd and approached the crime scene. Obviously, someone had tried to blow up Genda. But the attackers failed. The monument was still standing upright. There were only dim ash traces on the pedestal.
Well, who did this?
She looked over the crowd of pioneers. Surely it wasn't done by any organized terrorist organization. These guys all came here just to look at what happened. I noticed Oleana and Alyssa in the crowd, and it looks like our camp leader noticed them too.
You two, come here.
They approached reluctantly.
Why always me? I forgot her voice. If you think so. Show me your hands. Tooch. What's wrong with them?
I looked closer and saw that they were smeared with black.
Now it's clear. What did you make a bomb with?
The junior terrorist seemed to hesitate over whether or not to confess, but then blurted out proudly.
Oh no. Activated carbon, saltpeter, and sulfur.
Wait a minute. Carbon? Carbon that she stole from the first aid?
Why exactly the monument? What did this honored man ever do to you, the fighter for the rights of...
I could hardly imagine how long she could have kept scolding Alyssa if Electronic hadn't popped up at that very moment shouting,
I found it! I found it!
Everyone turned towards him. He held a boot in his hand.
Here!
Electronic boastfully shook it over his head.
It's Shurik's boot!
Okay,
calm down. Tell us in detail where you found it. In the forest. On the way to the old camp.
Whispers ran among the pioneers. Old camp?
Old camp? Old camp. Old camp. Are you sure? Absolutely.
What's so special about this old camp? I joined in the conversation.
It's nothing special, really.
She stammered.
One of the
Sovionics.
Sovionics legends tells the story of the young camp leader's ghost living there. She fell in love with a pioneer, but she rejected her, and so she killed herself. She committed harakiri with a kitchen knife.
Is that like seppuku?
I think. The next day, that boy was hit by a bus.
Oliana ran out of the crowd. Bus? I refrained from asking about the route number.
But science doesn't acknowledge the existence of ghosts, so we have nothing to be afraid of. Anyway, somebody should go out there.
Suddenly, the crowd started to thin out. The western.
Yeah. Olga, she's almost right. Maybe tomorrow.
It's almost night.
It's almost night. Maybe tomorrow.
I turned around and saw Slavia and Lena.
What if at night something happens to him? No, today, right now.
By the way, where is this place? Electronic roughly described to me the directions and told me the story of the old camp. The camp leader looked at me attentively. If you think that
You're the only man here. What about Electronic? Electronic's listening, you know.
I looked around the area. Of course. Electronic was quick to flee. There you go. He is not here. He ran away. I still didn't want to walk in the woods alone. If you ask me, I would.
Lena.
Lena?
Alright, well, who's the girl you're going for?
She's not here.
Oh, no.
I guess Lena is the... Well, okay, Slavia...
I like the southern belle.
Yeah. Will she agree?
Oh.
I looked at Slavia. She paid no attention to me. It's like it's not my day. Am I going there alone? Olga looked thoughtful.
Perhaps you're right. We'll go together tomorrow morning.
Alright, I guess that choice didn't really make a difference.
Should have went with Lena. Bet she would have.
Maybe. We stood in silence for some time, then dispersed around the camp. Everybody seemingly forgot about Alyssa and her terrorist act, maybe due to the minor damage it caused. Together, the camp leader and I went towards our camp. Oh yeah, camp leader and I are sharing a cabin.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I tried to think of why Shurik would go to the old camp. He is interested in robots and cybernetics, not scary stories and ghosts. What did that boot have to do with it? I remember how I decided to wait until something extraordinary would happen. Then I realized, this is it. Olga, I think I'll take a walk before bed.
Just not a long one.
Okay. When I reached the square, I understood that hanging around in the forest or some other strange place may not be that scary. But doing so in the dark? I didn't want to return to Olga's cabin, but I had to find a flashlight. For instance, there was one in the infirmary. I was glad I didn't spend my whole time there reading the fashion magazine. So, this apple is not affecting us whatsoever.
Not that we know of.
Maybe we're good.
Maybe.
The flashlight was found quickly, and in a few minutes, I was again standing at the square, pulling myself together. I just had to make the final decision before I entered the forest. Moving past the pioneers' cabins, down the forest path towards the abandoned camp. I set forth. Electronic told me that the old building was built immediately after the war. It looked like a kindergarten, or like a barracks I expected, and definitely could hold fewer pioneers than today's camp. It had been abandoned for about 20 years. It was now totally dark. The forest looked totally different at night. Mysterious shadows were hiding behind the trees, strange rustlings and the cries of night birds coming from everywhere, branches treacherously snapping under my feet. The full moon was shining, so I decided to save the battery in the flashlight. I'm sure I'll need it sometime soon. The further I moved, the more unpleasant thoughts came into my head. I wasn't afraid of the dark at all. I didn't believe in ghosts and other mystical crap. But at the same time, during the last few days, I'd encountered so many incomprehensible phenomena that against my own will, I'd started to read between the lines of the simplest things. Obviously, I felt exceptionally uneasy in the forest at night. Everywhere I looked, every shadow, every tree or bush looked like weird creatures escaping straight from the horror movies or from Stephen King novels. Stephen. Anyway, a branch seemed to be someone's hand, eager to grab your shoulder, a fallen log, somebody's dead body, someone who failed to get out of the forest. In every gully I saw a bottomless abyss. If I had found myself in this forest under any other circumstances, without all these buses and pioneer camps, of course I'd still feel uncomfortable, but then I would be able to explain everything with logic and be afraid of nothing except the owls and mice, of course. But at the moment, there were more than enough reasons to fear. Despite all this, I reached the old camp without any adventures. Alright, that actually looks creepy. But I think we'll have to enter that in the next episode.
Oh no!
Bye!